Hey guys, happy Monday. I hope that you're having a great day already. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And I hope that you're ready to read the next chapter in our story, The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell. Today we're on chapter 13, and it's going to be a short one, but it's going to be really good. So chapter 13 is called A Wolf Pack. Look at how creepy that looks. So right now I just want you to take a second and think about when you read that chapter title, A Wolf Pack, and you look at that scary picture of the wolf, what do you think is going to happen in this chapter? Take a second just to think about it. Take a little guess in your mind what's going to happen before we read. I don't know if you remember, but in the end of our last chapter, they were starting to think that maybe their father had been to the Land of Stories before. Remember the story he told about the fish that grew the legs? And then now they're hearing that exact same story from somebody else that is in the Land of Stories. And if you remember, they just got done with the Fairy Council, and the Fairy Council learned about the trolls and the goblins and about all of the crazy stuff that's happening that they didn't know was happening. And so they're going back to take care of that. Connor stood up for that fairy that was about to be banished. And now they're on their way. And we're going to see what's going to happen in chapter 13. I hope you're ready. There was blood everywhere. White feathers and bits of wood covering the ground. A driver had been transporting a cart full of geese into the northern kingdom when the big, bad wolf pack attacked. The only thing that remained in one piece was the green floppy that the driver had been wearing. The wolves were spread out under the trees, chewing on the bones of their victims. Malamaclaw jerked his head up and stared into the trees. Someone was coming. He could smell them. Whoever this person was, their scent made him anxious. "We've got company," Malamaclaw growled. All the wolves jumped to their feet, ready to attack again if they had to. But they were no match for who was approaching. Who do you think it is? A dark, hooded figure slowly moved through the trees and up to the wolves. It stood fearlessly in front of them for a moment before unveiling itself. "Hello, Malamaclaw," said the evil queen. "Who are you?" Malamaclaw barked. The woman before him, less than half his size, was making the hairs on the back of his neck stand up. "You don't know me, but you know of me," the evil queen said. "Everyone does." "It's the evil queen," a wolf snarled. Malamaclaw began shifting his weight on his front paws. He was intimidated and he didn't like it. "You have a lot of nerve approaching my pack," he said. "I should have one of my wolves rip your throat out." "I dare you," the evil queen said. There wasn't an ounce of fear in her body. She walked closer to them, and the wolves cowered back, Malamaclaw included. "What do you want from us?" he demanded. "I've come to make a deal," she said. "We don't make deals," Malamaclaw growled. "You will once you know what I have to offer," the evil queen said. This intrigued the wolf. "What kind of deal?" he asked. "A trade," the evil queen said. "There are 2 children traveling through the kingdoms, 1 boy and 1 girl, twins. I want you to find them and bring them to me unscratched." "You want children?" Malamaclaw mocked. "They have something. Several things, actually, that I need," the evil queen said. "I would do it myself, but I'm indisposed at the moment." "And if we bring them to you, what will you give us in return?" he asked. "When you bring them to me, I shall give you the one thing you want more than anything else in the world," the evil queen said. Malamaclaw laughed. "Wolves want nothing," he said. The evil queen stared at him as if she were looking into his soul. "Is that so?" she asked. "Then why do you and your pack crusade around the lands, terrorizing everything in your path? What are you trying to prove? Whose revenge are you seeking? Malamaclaw was silent. He couldn't deny it. I will give you the one thing that will avenge your father's death wholly, the Evil Queen said. I will give you Queen Red Riding Hood in exchange for the twins. All the wolves, including Malamaclaw, growled their doubts, but the idea was intriguing to him. And how could you possibly do that? The Evil Queen looked at him so sternly that his heart began to race. Do not question me. I will have the young queen in my possession by the end of the week. Bring me the children, and I will hand her over to you. Do we have a deal or not? Malamaclaw looked at the frightened members of his pack. They nodded at him. They didn't want to upset the queen. Deal, Malamaclaw said. But let me warn you, if you fail to keep your end of the bargain, we'll snap your neck like a twig. The Evil Queen walked up to the wolf and stood inches from his face, looking him forcefully in the eye. Let me warn you, she said. Fail to keep your part, and I'll have you all turned into rugs, just as Red Riding Hood did to your father. And if you ever threaten me again, I'll skin you myself. Malamaclaw froze. The Evil Queen knew she had him exactly where she wanted him. See you soon, she said. She put her hood back over her head and disappeared into the trees, in the direction she had come from. All the wolves stood still for a moment, afraid to move. What are you waiting for? Malamaclaw shouted, his pride bruised. We have twins to find. They charged into the horizon, howling in unison. The sound was deafening. And that's the end of chapter 13. I know that was so short, but really crazy also. We're going to stop there so that we can stay on track, and because the next chapter is a good length for next time. But I want you to sit and think about that chapter for a minute. That was so crazy. This could be a game changer because the queen knew about the twins, and now the wolves know about the twins, and they have been sent out to find them and bring them back to her. I don't know about you, but I'm a little nervous for the twins. I know that they're brave and they're strong, but those wolves seem really big and bad. Anyway, I am going to post in the description of this video some activities for you to do and some questions you can answer about the chapter. There won't be a lot since it was short, so you can do it. I really hope you enjoyed that chapter, and I hope to see you tomorrow when I read chapter 14. I'll give you a little sneak peek of chapter 14. It's called The Sleeping Kingdom. So we might get to meet Sleeping Beauty. I'm not sure. Anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon, a great start to your week, and I'll see you tomorrow with chapter 14. Bye, guys.